Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Josh from Nightmare on Woodsboro Lake. Today I'm coming at you with a movie review. Don't worry, it is spoiler free. In anticipation of Jeepers Creepers Reborn, which will be in theaters only for 3 days this month, I'm going to go see it on Monday, the 19th. Super stoked for it, of course. So, in anticipation of that film, we are doing a spoiler free movie review of each individual Jeepers Creepers. I did the first one with my good friend Leprechaun81, Dave. If you haven't checked it out, highly recommend it. That one, though, is riddled with spoilers, so be careful if you haven't seen it. But if you have, definitely go check it out. Not just because it's on my channel, but Dave is an awesome guy. We had a lot of fun making that video, and it just shows. There's a lot of like sidetrack stuff going on and a lot of humor. I think you'll enjoy it. So today we are taking a look at Jeepers Creepers 2. And with this film, we veer away from our siblings that we had in the first film, because obviously, well, I can't spoil it. But we veered away from them. This time it's focused on a bunch of athletes and cheerleaders and stuff that are on a bus heading, from a game, and they end up breaking down out in the country due to our, good old friend the Creeper. I can say that without being too much of a spoiler, because obviously you know what it's about. But they have a run-in with our good friend, Mr. Creeper, out on this road in the middle of nowhere. Now, this was an interesting, turn from the first one. He's got a lot more, victims in this film. All like, it's kind of like he rolled up to the buffet. The first one, he was focused on, just a few characters. Well, now you got a whole freaking school bus full of people, and the coach and the bus driver. You got like a selection, and we all know that the Creeper is looking for very significant things in each individual that it feeds on. I'm not going to say much more than that about him, because like I said, if you haven't seen the first one, I'm not going to ruin this for you. But yeah, crap really hits the fan for these kids out in the middle of nowhere. And they have to fight to survive and get out of the country, while facing something that nobody knows about, because these kids are not from that area, so they don't know any lore or history of this creature. So they're totally in the dark. Some unknown thing is like coming after them, and has caused them to be immobile and sitting ducks. I thought it was a pretty decent film. Was it the strongest in the franchise? No, but it wasn't the worst either. Number one, I think standalone. I know people say that a lot about original films, that they're like the best. Not always the case, but definitely in this franchise, number one shines the brightest. And, I'll dive more into number three when we do that review. But number two is kind of middle of the road. It's not horrible. It's not fantastic. But it's decent. And, it's a fun watch. If you're hanging out and you're just like wanting like a campy horror film to like watch, definitely check it out. And if you haven't seen the first one, I highly recommend the first one. But I would definitely recommend watching all three, because they've got so much information overload over the course of those three films that you're going to be like, your head's going to be spinning by the end because you're like, what? Hold up. Like, between all the questions and all the things that are revealed, and like, like, it's kind of just like our good friend Jamie Kennedy says in Scream 3. Yeah, Scream 3. I had to think about that for a second, even though it's my favorite franchise. There's the scene where Jamie Kennedy says it best about a trilogy. Let's take a look at that clip real quick. Couldn't have said it better myself, Randy. We miss you. Rest in peace. But yes, so I highly recommend watching all three. And if you're into those films, I know there's a lot of stuff surrounding those films and the director. Before I knew anything about the stuff going on with the director, I was so into the films. Like, and then that news dropped, and I was like, oh, but at the same time, I know it's hard because sometimes it's hard to separate art from the artist, and I'm not condoning anything that director has done allegedly and for fact. I haven't done too much diving into it because I don't really want to get sucked down that rabbit hole, but I have just tried to look at the art for what it is and try to separate it as best I can. I mean, obviously, like I said, I do not 100% will never condone anything that has been said about that director and what he has done. I'm not for that at all. But I do love Jeepers Creepers. And it's hard because, you've loved a film so long in your life that you can't just discard it. It's hard. It's hard when you really enjoy something. It's hard to just toss it because of certain things. And I don't blame people who have 100%. I'm not going to back the director in any sort of way, and I'm not going to defend them, and I'm not going to be against anyone who's like, well, I can't watch it after what what came out about the director. I'm not blaming you 100%. I'm with you. I understand. I'm just on the fence. So, but I am looking forward to Reborn. It is going to be by a different director, and it's kind of following, I think, that route of a requel, which I know a lot of people are doing it now. It's becoming a new thing, but from the trailer that I saw, it looks really good. It looks like it's taking a whole different route, and it looks good. It's not just a straight like copy, paste, change a few things so that your teacher doesn't get mad at you or try to turn you in for, plagiarism. It's definitely gonna probably stand out on its own from what I've seen so far, and I'm looking forward to it. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this franchise. Let me know if you are going to go see Jeepers Creepers Reborn. If you have any expectations for this film. Or where do you think it's going to succeed or fail? I would just love to hear all your thoughts. Definitely leave a comment below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You know it always means a lot to me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Nightmare on Woodsboro Lake family. Definitely hit me up. I have merchandise as well. I know I'm not like a huge channel, but I'm very passionate about what I talk about, and I have some cool designs. I mean, go check them out. Let me know if there's anything that you would like to see also printed on merchandise in the future. But yeah, keep killing it out there, my friends, and just remember, don't get caught.